Stay tuned, MechWarriors, and welcome back to another episode of RogueTech as we get into the campaigns of Rippers Rumblers. And last time we got two brand new 55-ton mechs, but that's not all we got last time. You see, we've recently updated to the most recent version of RogueTech, which includes a brand new system for constructing mechs. No longer is it you get 5 parts and here's a random mech made from those parts. No, you get to decide which one that you want to build, and then you integrate whatever parts you feel are necessary. Now, it'll charge you more for certain things, and it costs a little bit to actually build the mech, but this allows you to finally construct things. And those 9 gauntlet parts we've been hanging on to, oh yeah, we've started building one, so that'll actually be ready in the next couple of days because this is an Omni-Mech. But before that can happen, we've got 3 mechs currently on the way, and we need to get more salvage for even more mechs. So, a hostage rescue. A Capellan dropship went down in this empty rock, and shortly thereafter we detected a distress signal from the surface. By the time we arrived, the crew had been killed and taken captive by a heavily armed Davian force. We don't have an in-system military presence large enough to mount a hostage rescue mission, so we're looking for a competent mercenary company to do it. We need you to reach the facility where the crew is being held, destroy the Davian units guarding them, and then escort them to safety. This will be a 3.5 skull mission, 402,600 C-bills, but the main prize is 6 of 25 priority salvage. Oh, that's gonna be nice. We are dropping down with the full A-team. There has been small modifications made to one of the mechs. The rest of them are pretty much exactly the same as they've always been. But the small modification is that the Hatchet Man has apparently 999 melee. No, probably not, but more likely it'll be slightly increased because we picked up a Hands Melee Plus, which increased his melee damage by a pretty decent margin. I'm not quite sure what that'll actually turn out to be, but I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, we have Ripper in the Wolverine, Witness in the Shadowhawk, Exodus in the Starhawk, and of course, Hammer in the Hatchet Man. So without further ado, let us get underway. We, of course, need to make it to the facility, bombard and destroy everybody, and then make it out of there. So up to here, and then across all this distance out to over here. It tends to be quite the distance to travel, but I think we can pull it off. And also, it being a Frost world, oh, things are going to be lovely. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to getting the Gauntlet online. It's a design that will be surprisingly cool, despite the fact that it's packing 2 PPCs on it. To be fair, it's packing pretty much only 2 PPCs on it. Also has a pair of 2 ER small lasers, but the amount of equipment inside the Gauntlet B, things like an advanced mask, things like, but really I can't even possibly remember all of them. Oh, you were the only one to actually see something. But yeah, it's got an advanced mask, it's got an automatic light engine, it's got a lot of fun, wonderful things. Endosteel just right off the bat. I'm loving that mech. It took me a very, very long time to finally come up with something that wasn't just, hey, let's just mount all of the medium lasers as the normal B-type gauntlet is wont to do. So let's zip on down here, see if we can't find that enemy, because we know he went over here. Hi, there you are. It's a Scarecrow. Scarecrows are 40-ton mechs. They're basically updated versions of the Blackjack. Do I care about you? You're a 2 HP, unidentified weapon, 2 identified missiles, and a laser of some description. If I had to guess, I'd say an AC-5 and a pair of LRM, or maybe SRM-6s? I don't think he's anything special, but I do know that this is just packing, so unless you're a terrifying urban mech, which you might be, PPCs maybe, I'm going to probably focus on this. Let's warload it up here. We may as well open with a bang, so let's open fire. Fairly decent accuracy all around. We're going to be scattering damage all over this mech. That is the nature of massed laser weapons, which is one of the reasons why I ended up not building the Gauntlet B sort of more true to stereotypical form. Oh, it's an Owens, which will be represented by a Jenner. Hello. The stereotypical version of the Gauntlet B is like, what is it, 9 or 10 medium lasers? One of them is a medium pulse, actually. I didn't quite want to do that because we kind of have the Starhawk for that if we feel the need to actually do something exactly like that. Plus, we've got a lot of scatter damage all over the lands. I mean, most of our primary mechs, the Shadowhawk and the other Wolverine, yeah, that's fully equipped for scatter combat with MRM-30s. They're pretty good at it, don't get me wrong, but I need a little bit more pinpoint. And in order to do that, I had to design a couple of mechs for it. So a pair of snub-nosed PPCs to go along its fairly large fusion core and its fairly powerful advanced mask system, which will hopefully allow us to sprint right up next to the enemy and then just unload a pair of or snub-nosed PPCs right into their back. That was my conception. Alright, so let's see if we can't finish this guy off. We'll get the Wolverine in probably no problem. And then I'm willing to bet, actually, that we're within range to beat the crap out of that Shadowhawk. So, hi, I think I've got you dead to rights here with an ERPPC. And then just the rest of the MRMs. Oh, wow, surprisingly not. You've been badly damaged and you're unsteady, and You're an easy target, more or less, but you're still functional. Lucky for me, though, you decided that instead of using all of these wonderful energy weapons, you wanted to kick, which I applaud you for. So we won't have to worry about that at all. And that'll, of course, leave Hammer open to go whack onto their Shadowhawk. You got the Urban Mech moving up, pair of PPCs. PPC and a couple of pulse lasers? Small pulse lasers, is that? So it's not the craziest Urban Mech you've ever seen. No, that one is twin PPCs. So 237 damage. Oh, we're back up into the fighting section, boys and girls. So do we just run up and punch him? Yeah, let's just do that. We won't bother with the Berserker, see if we can't save it. And there goes an arm and most of another part. There goes an LB-10. Okay. That would have been a fairly good thing to have. But no, you decided not to use it. So who's moving first? Is it going to be him? I bet it... Oh, no, it can't be him. He's initiative 20. Who beat him? The Scarecrow did. He's going to come up and unload on us with a whole ton of energy weapons. Oh, just... That's a lot of pain being blasted our way. Looks like we got hit by 2 weapons, so not the worst pain ever, but still not fun. Even with the temperature as it is right now, he still managed to overcook a little bit. That is rather impressive. I'm going to just maneuver right in behind you, and I think I'm going to kill you on this one. Yes, completely cored out. There's a 275 rated engine, but it's not a big deal. Although this looked to be a fairly advanced version of the Shadowhawk, so maybe I should be a little bit saddened by its loss. Witness, come back here and just kill this Urban Mech, please. I have faith that you can do it. If I had warlorded it, I would have more faith that he could do it. And he didn't quite do it. He blew off the small pulse lasers, which is very sad. But we didn't quite kill his PPC, which is equally sad. I'll just maneuver into the back of him then. Instead of trying to get in front of him, just we'll chew through his back armor. Shouldn't be that much of a problem. Yeah, the ER PPC doing most of the work there. Are you going to survive? You survived. You got a crit on your XL engine, and you are stressing. Which, you know, that's perfectly fair. I mean, you've been hit by a lot of pain. So, do you really want to hang around with your CT so very weak? If Exodus is still up, I can maneuver him probably over here to shoot a couple of times in the back of him, and probably his large pulse laser into the Scarecrow. Who's punching me? It's the Owens. The Owens has come for a kick. He did 11 damage. The Owens is a nice little Omni-Mech, which is much smaller than the Jenner from what I remember. Maybe not, but I seem to recall that. Is that gonna do it for me? Because I need to be in his back. That is, of course, important. Yeah, that'll do it. So we'll sprint on over here. We will multi-target on you and you. Large X-Pulse to A, and Bravo will get a bunch of mediums, especially that one. We'll do that. So fire away. There we go. I'm very happy that I decided to put a couple of medium lasers onto that. Otherwise, he probably would have survived. And the medium pulse, are you going to take him out? He's not dead. I'm not quite sure how he's not dead, but he isn't. He doesn't have any weapons left anymore, so all he can do is really kind of jump. Oh, that's a little bit adorable, actually. Go kill me in Owens now. Hi, you're quite fast, but I have a lot of weapons. Maybe not enough weapons. Come on, break the side. Nope, his XL engine is still intact. I think it's got an XL engine. Maybe wrong. But we're gonna maneuver, see if we can't grab it. Hi, ooh, also terrible accuracy, but you know what? If I shoot enough at you, I can maybe break you. No, apparently that was not the case. The Owens is now going to be able to probably move. We can ignore the Urban Mech. I mean, he can walk up and kick us, which would suck. I mean, that's, what, 12, 15 damage? Won't be anything too special, though. What does the Owens want to do now that he has mostly no armor? Oh, wow, he's got some pretty interesting ammunition if he could try to actually do something with it. A tag barrage. Where is that located? Can we actually tell? No, we don't have enough information to actually figure out exactly where everything is inside the mech. But that's not terrible. Yeah, he's going to open fire at point-blank range using his listen kill LRM-5 deltas to nail us on the hatchman, and a misfire. Oh, he hot-loaded him. That must have been... Oh, wow, look at that pilot, though. That is one heck of a high stability threshold. He's got, what, 3? Yeah, 3.5. That's impressive. Unfortunately, he decided not to move, so he's dead. Because we'll just walk over here and do this. So goodbye, Urban Mech. You do not exist anymore. We're not interested in really taking him alive anyway. And Exodus is going to basically align himself back here and just butcher him. So, are you going to die here? Oh yeah, just gone. A single leg and a head was all that was left. There's nothing left in that, which is a bit of a shame. It did look actually to be a fairly interesting Owens, but I will take that result without feeling too bad about it. Honestly, I should probably have Exodus go do the touching base, because we are going to now swing over to go off in this direction following this road to the dust-off point, which will be right here. Yes? Yes. The dust-off point will be down here, and the enemy will spawn here and here. So, this becomes a little bit of an interesting mission once that happens. I really should actually have you be the one to touch base, because you have the large pulse laser, which means that you can basically hang at range, whereas he's got MRMs, and he does not want to be all that close. Well, actually, no, he wants to be super up close and personal. He doesn't want to be close to the convoy. We'll run Hammer up here so he can sort of get into some dangerous business. Ripper will, of course, follow him so that we can keep at least one mech supporting him. And we'll be able to chill out without too much trouble at all. So a couple of rounds of blasting with that ERPPC gave us quite the heat to work with. However, we do appear to be able to handle it, although going to a hotter world may require a small rebuild of this mech. Not quite sure on that, though. We'll have to see. We'll get Witness underway immediately. So we'll reverse our mistake. Our mechs are now trickling in a little bit, which is not great, but I think I've got one more turn. Oh no, I might be able to actually touch base. Did we touch base? We did. Okay, lovely. So the convoy is now ready to rock and roll, and things are spawning. So Turhan APCs are excellent. They've got a pair of large lasers. They're one of the better defensive things that you can work with. They're also pretty well armored, so they should hopefully be able to survive whatever it is we run into. Now, these guys are going to have spawn protection. Oh, wait, no, they spawn down here, don't they? Huh, trying to remember. I think you're in the right spot regardless. You know what? Let's just get a peek up here. He was standing right in front of me. Okay, we got a Marauder, a 3R with an AC5 and twin PPC, which unfortunately we're not going to be able to hit with an axe. We've also got a Cicada and a Blackjack. And way down here is a Champion. Okay, so I want this guy. And also I kind of want this guy as well. So we've got two mechs on here that I actually do want to take somewhat intact. But that's going to be a bit of a trick. So let's go see if we can't steal a champ. For you, you are going to run up here. Can I actually have a shot on you guys? No, I don't, because the turn 1 spawn protection is powerful. A great defensive shield for our enemies. How do I actually want to sit back and engage this? I think reserving is the best option, because we're all sprinting at maximum speed. Yeah, it sucks that we're going to have to probably reserve twice, but whoever moves, we can shoot, because they'll abandon their turn 1 spawn protection the moment they actually get on their way. It's going to be the Cicada, which I was kind of hoping for, because I did want to just remove him from the equation relatively quickly. So that should be all right. Exodus can then maneuver up and provide a little bit of super long-range fire, or not quite in range. Not quite in range. The large pulse laser isn't quite able to reach it, so we'll just continue to move with the convoy, keep them on a rolling, so that way they don't get stuck. And the champion, hi, hello my little champion. I want you. I want to steal you. Autocannon and a medium laser. He actually should have 2 medium lasers, an SRM-6, and a pair of smalls. Smalls won't be in range, although that is one hell of a heat bank. And we're about to get punched by a Blackjack. That is adorable. Luckily for us, he actually managed to miss, so we should be able to handle him without too much trouble. The only danger is, of course, this Marauder is nightmarishly powerful. Yeah, the PPCs are scary. However, he is now positioned perfectly for us to hack him in half. Now, this Marauder does not have an XL engine, which does make life just a little bit more difficult. But we will see what we can handle. I'm actually going to go for the water because there's basically no difference in how far I can get to. Ooh, that's a very good chance. Not so good a chance. Do I support this Blackjack kill? Yes. And the reason why is because I want to be able to get more accurate fire on the champion so I can sort of pick him apart. So we'll get a little bit of accurate fire down on this Blackjack. Target acquired. Ripper may now maneuver around, and Ripper will hopefully be able to beat this guy on his initiative rolls, because otherwise he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Oh, he missed with the ERPPC. That is unfortunate on several levels. We have made him unsteady, and it's back up to us. Lovely, so round 8, phase 26. I love being able to move this quick. Shoot and scoot. So let's hopefully remove this guy from the equation. Didn't quite. Oh, wow, he actually survived quite a bit of that. He will be on his back, but now that just means I've got to chew through his front armor. So that did not end quite as I had planned. We'll maneuver up and attempt to go for a little bit of evasion. Witness can maybe finish him off. I'm not actually sure if we can. And the main concern, of course, being that he's on his back now, so I actually have to bore through that armor. So we'll maneuver up here, go for the high accuracy, and I really just need him dead. I don't really care to take him intact. We'll focus on this just to sort of remove half of his weapons. So that's half the mech and CT. Okay, good. So we've taken the Blackjack out. That was the first one. I was kind of hoping to have the Blackjack and the Cicada dead by this turn, but that does not appear to be happening. We will Berserker, because we're going to hit him like a ton of bricks. And I want to focus the right side, because that's where the autocannon is. Yep, and that was most of what I had planned. Maybe a little bit more than I had planned, if I'm completely honest. We have hurt him quite badly. However, we're probably going to have to punch him quite a bit in order to actually fully take him offline. Alright, so I do still need to stick with my little charges. So we'll maneuver over here, and we'll start skirmishing with our large laser against the champion. Miss, and... Ooh, we got a hit. So good job with the third hit, not bad. Not quite sure how I'm going to take this champion attacked. It's going to prove to be quite difficult. This Marauder, though, just got absolutely opened up. He's lost more than half of his weapons, because he lost the AC-5 and a PPC and a medium laser. So a little bit more than half. And that champion trying to be sneaky. APC's on the move, and then the enemy, we're going to have the Cicadas just run up right next to us and do nothing. I like your style. Marauder's going to shift back, defensively, no doubt. And long-range fire? Or no, not really. Yeah, they're just going to see if they can't get on forward. Large laser fire towards the champion. One actually managed to hit, which is well, I can't say that's unfortunate, because we are still at the stage where that would be just fine. Because I do want to take his legs out. Take his legs out, take all the parts of him. Okay, Witness. If I fire Witness into him, he's just going to kill him. Because that CT is completely open. Although I can punch him. I mean, that is, of course, an option. But right now, my plan will be to kill me a Cicada. Because I think we can pull that off without too much. Alright, so at this point, my recording software went a little bit nuts, so I'm having to record this one in post. It's only going to be about 2.5 minutes of this, but we had that little glitch that we occasionally run into on the stream, where suddenly all of the audio just went absolutely crazy. So, yeah, we're going to insert this little afterwards narration. So already we started really working on that Cicada, but now it's time to start working on this Marauder over here. He's already been pretty heavily damaged, and the hope is to knock out his legs, and we did! So now he's going to be on his back. He's going to be in not great condition moving forward. I'm kind of hoping at this point that the pilot will eject, but I don't really have any way to ensure that. Right now, the only mechs that are actually anywhere near him are our gigantic Hatchet Man. Well, not gigantic, but the amount of damage he deals is rather gigantic. The recently included melee hands plus that we gave him really surged his firepower back into a level where he's going to be dangerous once again moving forward. So the intention here was I was trying to figure out just what could I shoot at this guy to sort of ensure that his leg would go down without destroying the CT, and really this became a huge problem to try and figure out because we just have a lot of scatter fire, and when you've only got a maximum of a plus 50 or 50% chance of actually dealing damage to the component you want to, if you're targeting the legs, it becomes a pretty difficult decision to make. Now, Ripper's Wolverine does have, of course, an ERPPC in it right now, which makes it a little bit better at this because he will be able to concentrate the damage. So we decided to, I decided to shut off one of the MRMs. I think I ended up going back on that because I see the damage change on the ERPPC is a bit low. But yeah, a 52% chance we go everything on because he is technically in cover, I believe. And we're going to just sort of hope that things quite go our way. And opening fire on this one will potentially get us what we want, and no. No, unfortunately, the MRMs, they're really not good if you're trying to pick off a single target. They're really good if you're trying to bore through somebody or take out a turret. But if you're trying to surgically remove parts, MRMs are not really the way to go. I'm a huge fan of them in RogueTech right now. I think they're very powerful for the sort of tonnage that you get out of them. But unfortunately, they require you to not care so much about blowing things apart. Like that Cicada. So having managed to take the Cicada out, we've taken the Blackjack out and the Marauder out, so now we get to focus on my very favorite mech, the Champion. So we will attempt to surgically remove him from the battlefield. Already the APC is getting a little bit of help in on us for this one, so they will be able to put their fire down, and as you can see, a little bit of whittling away. So if we do this just right, we might be able to steal it. But at this point, the auto is about to come back, so I will leave you now. And we're back. I understand apparently that the vocals went absolutely ballistic, according to what I could see over on my OBS screen. So unfortunate that, because now there was quite a bit that we were talking about that I'm not quite sure at what point we were no longer talking about. So there will of course be a voiceover that I will put in sort of over the top of it, just to make sure that there's actually something to listen to. And yeah, I'll have to compile the episode together. So the champion's now taking quite a bit of fire, although he hasn't gone down yet, which is good. We do, of course, want to take him intact. The champion is my pride and joy and the prize I wish to steal. So let's get some pressure on him. I don't want to scatter fire too much on the face of him. We did tag him. Structure exposed on the arm, but I don't really care about the arm. And in fact, I would prefer if that arm stayed intact for a while, because it'll absorb fire away from the CT. Well, yeah, away from the CT, because I want the legs. I really, really want legs. Yeah, continue the... That was the wrong place I wanted that to hit. Oh, what? Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. Between the vocals going down, the Marauder getting absolutely cored out, and now the champion having an ammo explosion, today has not been a great day. Alright, let's get back up here, so we can take care of this force immediately once they actually show up. We are now free and clear of the enemy forces. So Exodus, just hang with your little guys. I'll get the other two mechs up close and personal with the landing zone force, because we should be able to make it there well before these APCs cross the river. Hey, good, his machine gun jammed. But yeah, the ammo explosion was very unfortunate for what we actually had planned, because we actually wanted to take that mech more or less intact. I had a whole plan going for it, and now it's just not going to happen. Which is unfortunate, but then again, they do say that plans never survive contact with the enemy. So, we will have to adapt. It does mean, of course, that it's going to take me much, much longer to get my champion, which I really would like to get my hands on, because it's a very fun mech for me. It's a personal favorite, even though it's not particularly a great mech. And I know there's some bias against 60-ton heavies, but I do enjoy them. Hammer has just been sitting up here this whole time as he's waiting for his people to show up. Now, the one downside to that is that if Hammer goes first, the enemy just will not appear. They will be totally invisible. So we're going to have somebody else ready to support him, which will possibly be Exodus. I do want to get these guys basically right on top of the force that will spawn in, like right over here. But that's going to take a little while. Exodus, yes, you're just hanging out with the peoples. You're going to stand here and wait for them to move, because they're getting a little bit stretched out. The forces of the Cabellan Confederation on the roll. There we go. But yeah. A little bit of a rough day today. But we will persevere, as we often do. Taking this mission, we were deliberately hunting for heavies, and we found two of them. Unfortunately, we cored them both. So, didn't quite want that to happen. Was very much looking forward to taking either 2 or 3 parts of a Marauder, and hopefully 3 parts of a, whatchamacallit, a thingamabob, a champion. That will not happen today. Today, instead, we're getting 1 of each. And then, of course, we're going to take apart pieces. Although, luckily for us, none of those mechs really were all that advanced or good. They were okay, but they didn't have any sort of like hyper advanced technology on them. So that actually gives us a little bit of opportunity to take mech parts without feeling bad about it. We don't have to worry about not gaining the optimal things. Although, you know, picking up an Owens would be an interesting thing. We do have our first Omni-Mech after all. Maybe we should attempt to build an entire Omni-Lance, because right now we have 1. The interesting thing, though, about that gauntlet that we're building right now is that it only took 9 days from the time of repairing everything and putting all the stuff that we could put on it. 9 days in order to build that, which is rather absurd for constructing a mech from the ground up, even at this stage in the game. The rest of our mechs are like 20-something days, I think, or maybe 16, before they'll actually be ready to rock and roll. This APC is getting a little bit strung out, which is not great. I heard the sensor blip sound, but I'm very, very much convinced that it was just a fluke. So we are basically on top of where they're going to be spawning, I think. They show up somewhere in here, I believe. So we want to get somewhere around here in the rough terrain. One thing that we can do is, if we can find exactly where that dropship is supposed to come in, we can use that to our advantage. Because I basically just want to descend upon them like avenging angels and just crush them. in as few turns as possible, or, you know, if there's something really interesting that we can steal, then we can sort of draw things out a little bit. And that would be ideal. I think they just show up right here. I think that's the spawn location. So we just want to be in a nice position where we can basically dive on top of them. Maybe even come at them from behind. That would be acceptable as well. Okay, the APC is still on the move, moving a little bit slower than I'd otherwise like, because come on guys, you're basically on a road, you may as well not waste anybody's time, but they're going to. So reserve, or brace, brace, we are positioned and ready to rock. Exodus will of course continue to follow the convoy from a protective parenting position, as eventually they will make it there, and they'll be picked up by the Leopard dropship. Well, it's a little weird that a Leopard is picking up APCs. It can't, technically. So the Leopard dropship has space for 4 mechs and 2 aerospace fighters. And that's active ready storage. If you want to be able to put them in the cargo hold, then you have to, like, prepare them and mothball them up. But they're trying to put 4 vehicles in, which, as far as I know, you're not allowed to do that. The version of Leopard that we get, or we being just the players at the start of the vanilla game, we get a fairly common modification that removes the aerospace fighter bays and instead puts in 2 additional mech cubes, which is their excuse for why we have 6 mech slots when we only have the Leopard, which works out okay. Alright, so the Leopard's there to pick them up in nice Capellan green and yellowish. Alright, we need none of these people to move first. Reserve. We need Exodus to move first because Exodus can actually see things. There we go. By his movement, we have identified everything. Got a Quasimodo and a... Ooh, okay. We've got an Orion. Take that as much intact as we possibly can. Also back here, we've got a Yunlo Wang, which I believe is a Centurion. It's a Hero Centurion from MechWarriors Online. And a Hoplite, which we don't really care about. Okay, so that'll be interesting. Exodus has nothing to do, so Exodus shall sit still. Hammer can't see his targets, despite the fact that he's 2 inches away from them. So Hammer is going to reserve. I assume that wherever they move, we will do some. Ooh, I don't want to be standing still for this. Sorry, but that would be just a terrible, terrible idea. So we're going to get in behind y'all. It's going to be an obstructed shot, but I'll be behind you. Hi, I want to kill the Quasimodo first because I want to focus a lot of firepower. If the Orion becomes my first heavy mech, that'll be more than a little amusing to me, because I believe the Orions were one of our first heavy mechs in our original campaign. So the Quasimodo being attacked from the back. Allied phase, enemy turn. So we're no longer near any of the supporting units. Let's see who's going to move. It's the Hoplite. Hoplite is going to rain some fire down to the Wolverine. So Hammer's up as soon as he's ready to go. And we'll just basically walk into him and hit him with an axe. I don't really care to keep any of you alive, although that Hoplite is rather ridiculous. The Yunlo Wang might have some interesting stuff, so I'm going to save Berserker for him. And am I behind him? I am absolutely behind him. Okay. Let's go hit him with an axe. Oh, just cored out. No mercy at all. Lovely. That gives us our evasion. That gives us our bulwark. We are prepared and ready to fight the Yunlo Wang. Although it's kind of interesting that we're fighting Davian right now, and we're dueling against the Yunlo Wang. Just because it amuses the heck out of me. Do I have a shot here against the Quasimodo? There it is. Okay. Quasimodo is basically just a super hunchback. It's a 55-ton version, advanced and more powerful. I will not Warlord, even though I kind of want to, because I may as well not fire Warlord into spawn protection. I'll wait until I've got something. We've managed to crit his VSPL and his engine, so I think he's got an XL engine, so if we can just destroy one of those, we'll be golden. And the Yunlo Wang is, of course, going to get hit by another axe, and that will probably kill him in no time at all. We're about to get punched by the Quasimodo. Okay, unfortunately for him, he could not touch us, so much too evasive in order for him to actually do anything to us. Although I didn't think we moved that far. The real question will be the Orion, because the Orion ON1 VA has a lot of stuff. Yunlo Wang decided he wanted to punch us, so he's going to go for the kick and miss. Yeah, I've got advice for you, buddy. Do not pick a melee fight with our Hatchet Man. I mean, to be fair, it's... is it as good or not as good as the other one? Oh, we're about to get punched, and lucky for us, he can't hit us either. Okay, guys, please, just one at a time, be calm, so we can take care of this. We all want the same thing. You all dead.
I hear ya.
Alright, Witness. Witness is going to try and finish off Quasimodo. So, where are you, actually? You are there. You're shooting Scoot, right? And you're in position to shoot the back of the Quasimodo, right? Okay. Kill the Quasimodo. I should have warlorded, but I thought I had things under control. It is clear that we did not. Oh, actually, no, we did. Lovely. Oh, we had a blue shield dampener. That's fascinating. Oh, there was a lot of good stuff on that Quasimodo. Maybe I should have tried to take it more advanced, but you know what? I want a bigger mech frame. I really do. So I'm going to run and turn around. So I've got a little bit of protection going on. All right, Exodus. Way up high in your duel with the Yenlo Wang that I'm probably not needed here for. In fact, I'm going to leave you to it. You've got it. I have trust in you. Call shot. Target is head. 64%. It's a 1.1% chance. Oh yeah, you can't hit heads anymore. I forgot about this. So one of the things that they did recently is they're making changes to called shot because they decided that the headshot meta was kind of bull. Basically, you load up on machine guns or other rapid fire weapons, you aim at the head, and you just constantly plink at the head because you only need to hit the pilot 5 or 6 times before they'll die. So you can actually down a super heavy mech in a relatively short period of time. The developers kind of figured this was sort of bullshit, and to be fair, they're right. So you can't target the head unless they're overheated or on the ground. So let's see if we can't help put him on the ground. Probably should have just not done the offensive shot at all. Although he did manage to hit that leg twice, so good job. Stability damage has been taken. Do we know what the Yenlo Wang has? Ooh, nice. Okay, so he's got a jackhammer, which I have no idea what that does. A pair of Irian SRM-4s, which I'm not interested in. The AC-20 Defiance with caseless ammo, which means he can fit extra ammunition inside of it. I'm gonna be honest, there's nothing here I really care about. Because it's just a Defiance. So, how about I just disarm you? I mean, I assume that that'll work. Oh, no! Ooh, that may have gone very, very bad because we did not move very fast, and he's got an AC-20. We did hit him in the head. I meant to punch. I very much meant to punch. Okay, let's get things underway then. We'll start attacking this side as well. Hi, I am here, and I'm going to warlord you, and then I'm going to offensive push you. And I'm going to offensive push your leg so that I can hopefully put you on the ground. You also have a lot of green in your camouflage pattern for being Davian. Okay, his leg is exposed. He has lost his evasion, so that will slow him down a little bit, but that's not going to be a huge effect. This was what I was scared about. Lucky for us, he didn't manage to actually do much damage, but we probably could have gotten out of this without taking any damage if we had done this right, and we didn't, so a little bit irritated with myself on that one. More APC movement going in the back, because apparently we're close enough to do that. That's lovely. Enemy phase. Let's see what Mr. Orion wants to do. Did he shoot at me? I think he absolutely did. Oh, he very much did. Lucky for us. Actually, no, not lucky for us. That is the MRM side, and we don't want that. You have an AC-10, right? I think you do. How far and fast are you? He didn't move at all. Okay, that I can work with. Hammer, let's do this right. Let's not beat around the bush anymore. Go for his... Ooh, that's his back. I don't want his back. I want his right side, because that's the cannon side. If I disarm that cannon, he's basically helpless. 356 damage. Just everything. Oh, he hit the leg. And the way we know that is because the leg disappeared. And then it also took out the torso, because we went right through that, and then it took out the arm, because the torso went with the arm. So that pilot's having a bad day. Witness! Witness, you have the same goal in mind. You're going to slip over here. You are also going to warlord? We had to get through 160 health, and we barely did. You're not going to warlord, but you are going to offensive push, because I'm going to save your warlord for the other side of him. So, go for that leg. Come on, take out the leg. Leg is gone. Don't take out too much of that torso. Keep that torso intact. Stop shooting the torso, please, and thank you. Okay, so he's going to be on his back. That will make him more vulnerable. I could start shooting his head. I'm not going to. I'm going to shoot his other leg. I'm going to hopefully knock both legs out. So, now, Ripper. We'll maneuver over to here. I was hoping to get in cover, but that's not going to be a thing. So we're going to maneuver over here. And now we're going to take aim at his leg, 52%, because we have the improved call shot. Let's see if he can't bore through the legs. Please stop hitting that torso. I would like just the leg, please. I can get a little bit closer. I can get a lot closer, right? Yes, of course I can. I am running through the geothermal, but that is okay, because we're not going to need to do this for much longer. 52, come on. Stop doing that, guys. We want to take this thing intact. Now we're only going to get 2 parts. Maybe he'll eject. No? Maybe? That is a massive heat gauge. Way larger than it should be, in my opinion. So he's going to stand right back up. He's not going to be able to move all that quickly. He is missing an arm. He is also missing an entire torso, which is very unfortunate, because I wanted to take it intact. But hey, we're working on it. I like Orions. Orions are pretty cool. I mean, they're not marauders, but they're cool. Hi, you getting back up? Are you sure you want to? If you get out of the mech, I'll let you walk away. I mean, I know it's cold, but there's a fire over there to keep warm while you wait for arrivals. got hit by a little bit of heat, but at the end of the day, do we really care about heat? Answer, no, we do not. Ripper.
How's it going?
You're going to call shot. Actually, you're going to move, because I want to make sure you're onto the side. And then you're going to offensive push. You're going to go for his leg. He has barely anything left in it, so ERPPC off, small laser off. We're just going to MRM and tag him, and hope that we don't bore through everything. Stop pushing, stop fire. Okay, both legs destroyed. We got him.
Tango, down.
Hammer,
Yes.
go finish this thing off. Yeah, I don't care. He's a 55-ton Centurion, very cute, goodbye. I have more important things to worry about than the Yenlo Wang. And Witness, would you like to go back and shepherd our convoy, or is Exodus going to get there? Exodus will get there first. He's got a full turn ahead of him. Lock that down. Exodus is up. Let's get along to our little charges. And they can maneuver off the map, and we can be all happy and done. So that's 2 inside the zone. Come on, 2 more. 3 is inside the zone. Will you be able to make it? No, no, you're going to get stuck just outside, because of course you will. Lovely. Let's just get on up here.
Got it. Max speed.
Zoom on into position. We are set with you. So we didn't take too much damage on this one. A little bit more than I kind of otherwise would have wanted. But it should be alright.
Waiting for orders.
And also a little bit disappointed that we blew off another side. I think we're only going to get 2 Orion parts because of that, which is kind of sad. I wanted all, well, not all. I wanted 3 of them. If I had been able to just plink away at the head, I would have done that. I would have just started spamming my MRMs to try and hit his head, which is exactly the thing that they're trying to combat. Alright, we're done. Let's go see what 6 of 25 salvage looks like. Although I think there is a high salvage bug out there, so we do need to keep in mind on that. We might not be able to get the maximum amount of salvage that we're hoping for just because of a bug, but I'm not quite familiar with it, normally because we haven't taken that level of contract before where we could get paid out that much. So we're just going to see where things lie. I do hope that it works. It should work. Federated Suns not super happy with us. Nice spread of kills on everyone. The Shadowhawk picking up the least, and then the Wolverine, but then the Hatchet Man, of course, is a nightmarish monster who can destroy you, and he's doing very well now. So all we need now for him are Talons. Champion part is the 1. The Marauder part is the 1. 3 Orion parts. So we did get 3 Orion parts. Lovely. Okay. The Yenlo Wang is a Centurion. This Centurion may not be the Yenlo Wang, but it certainly packs a punch with an upgraded jump jets that help it close the gap. It's basically a 55-ton Centurion. Honestly, the hardpoints do not excite me. They offer nothing for me. Clan Laser, though, does. Jackhammer is a what now? Is it literally just a jackhammer? Yes, it is literally just a jackhammer. I don't quite need that. Exostars, medium pulse, VSPLs, which is always interesting. Irians are the minus accuracy for the AMS to get through. Cockpit basics to clutter up your loot table. Armored cowl I don't need. Engine core 300 is interesting. I think I have one though. Yes, I do. Fire control. Autocannon is actually really nice because it does a lot to autocannon. So if we could... Oh, even -1... Yeah, we're losing the ER medium. How many of these do I currently have? I have 2. So... I'm going to lose that one probably for the autocannon. Actually, do I have an autocannon targeting computer? Because if I do, I'm not going to bother. Oh, I have 2! Of course. Fire control system standard to clutter up your loot table. A whole bunch of heat sinks, double heat sinks, jump jets, improved jump jets for the Yenlo Wang. Patchwork materials, which are always lovely. Sensor Recon Clan Edition. Who had the Clan tech? Was it the HB or the Yenlo Wang? It's not really clear. None of the other stuff really interests me, so let's go lock that in. So we got a Cicada and a Hoplite part as well. Also got the Owens and the Scarecrow part, Urban Mech part, and even the Yenlo Wang part. As for the rest of the stuff, we picked up a single VSPL. We now have 1. I thought I had 1 before. I must have sold it. Whole bunch of useless basic cockpits, which I now have to spend time to sell. Jeez, why can't we even get these things? And... Fire control system standard, yeah, same thing. Oh, we got the autocannon fire control system too. So not terrible, not terrible at all. We picked up a whole bunch of mechs, and that put us much closer to being able to get our first heavy mech, because that's 3 parts to an Orion. I mean, that's not nothing. That is a fairly significant, nice little pickup that we have to work with now. So I need to check what I've currently got sitting in storage. I thought I had another champion part already from, coring out another champion. But, so if that's the case, we'll be up to 2, but I need to double check that because I'm almost positive that we're not up to 4, that we didn't have 4 already. We haven't been running into many champions. They're incredibly rare, so we're finding out, which is kind of sad because they're really fun mechs and I love them. Unfortunately, we are having trouble keeping our hands on them. So the Orion, however, would be a nice pickup. I believe the Orion V, which is the one we were looking at, that one is a sacrifices armor for firepower. 28,000 with X6 days, but that's mostly fluff. You can put in a whole bunch of stuff. That'll probably just mean it has extra hard points. So, according to the loadout, the Gauntlet is in 2 days, the Hatchet-Man is in 2 days, the Wolverine is in 3 days. So let's put the Gauntlet above the Wolverine. We'll be ready in 2 days for another Lance, as we'll check out our mech bay real quick, because the mech bay, as you can see, is mostly full of being repaired mechs. We have 3 mechs right now that are available to go, but we need a 4th one to rock and roll, since it's not going to be ready in 2 days anyway. The B team's going to have to wait a little bit. Anyway, storage. So we are in the heavy categories. So we have combines with the champion 1N, which is over here. Ooh, so we are up to 4 champion parts. We just got to core out 1 champion and we can build it. So that is currently our life goal, is to find a champion and beat the crap out of it. It doesn't even matter. We don't have to take it intact at all. We can just blow that thing apart. The Marauder does not combine with the Scavenger. Oh, no, the MDD, not MAD. I was thinking for a second it was a pirate. No, but it's a pirate Mad Dog. Let's see. We have an Archer part, Black Knight parts, which are compatible with other Black Knight parts, which we have somewhere around here. Do we not have another Black Knight? Oh, there it is. So we do have 2 Black Knights right now that will combine together, the 7B and the 1L, so that gives us 3 parts. We have 3 parts to a dragon, 3 parts to a super griffin, which we'll probably never run into again because they're a super rare prototype, but I'm going to keep it anyway. 3 parts to a thunderbolt, which I'm not a huge fan of thunderbolts, but we're keeping it because it's a heavy mech. Jaeger mech, we have a single part to 2. I thought we had more, but apparently not. Single part for our Warhammer from that one that we cored the heck on out of. Black Knight, we are of course at 3. Archer is at 2. The Mad Dog is at 1. Champions are up to 4. So happy. The Galahad is a singleton. The Orion is also 3. So we're getting kind of close to a heavy mech. Soon. Sell Cicada. We're not keeping cicadas, I'm sorry. The Hoplite, we can keep. You're not ready to go yet. Oh, but we can build a Centurion. Compatible with the Yenlo Wang. Can I build a Yenlo Wang? Where is the Yenlo Wang? Because if I can build the Yenlo Wang, I'd much rather do that. Compatible with the Centurion 10.7S. 10.7S. Oh, but I can't. Oh, that's unfortunate. So I can't build the Yenlo Wang unless I build Yenlo Wang parts. Although the Centurion 10.7S, are you the... Ooh. This was the super one that we ran into. What would the Yenlo Wang have? Upgraded for close combat and jump jets. Yeah, okay, we're going to do that. So this allows us to show off the new mech building system. Basically, hit ready. You have 4 parts. You have 1 more part left. It's going to cost us 216,379 to combine it with that. Proceed. Proceed. So a conversion cost makes perfect sense, and yes, we have a brand new mech, although we're already full. So, based on the rare 10B variant, this Centurion's iconic shield replaced with an active shield that incorporates both an APDS and blue shield dampener alongside the finest information equipment money can buy. So that is a fairly nice pickup. So that's a 55-ton Centurion. I had recently sold the ROM because, well, we needed the space, but who's left? Really, it's nobody. So let's go take a look at our brand new Centurion, which apparently we're starting to fill up the mech bay again. So I was getting rid of anything under 55 tons unless it was a melee mech, and we have. So here we are. It has a compact heatsink kit already installed, which doesn't really do anything for us. Oh, it's got an automatic blue shield and an automatic combat shield. I like this mech already. All right, Gyro XL... New. Yes, actually, this is the good one. Yes. Compact heatsink kit, probably not. Composite? No. We have endo steel. We will use that. And a UAV likely as not. I also will probably replace that double heatsink kit, or the compact heatsink kit, because the compact heatsinks weigh a metric ton. It's rather ridiculous, actually. The rest of the episode we're probably going to build. We're 45 minutes in, so wouldn't really be enough time to do sort of anything. So let's throw in... Oh, not enough free slots. Of course, we got to give it a fusion core. So let's go down, and you used to have a 180 rated fusion core in this thing. How fast could you possibly go with that thing? Yeah, give me a 270, please. So we got 270 radio fusion core. It's the same as the 275. It just doesn't have the space inside of it when you've got a light engine on board, which we don't yet. So let's go throw in that light engine. And in order to take care of that problem, I, of course, want a double heatsink kit. It's got an MRM-20 in it already, which I would love to keep if I also could get more MRMs in it. Max out the armor, and I, of course, need to get more structure in. So we do have Endo. We used the Clan Pharaoh, or the Clan Endo, I believe. Yeah, the Clan Endo on the Omni-Mech. And let's just see what we can do with normal Pharaoh. Does limit us quite heavily on slots. This thing has a lot of support equipment already built into it, but the bright side of this is this can't ever break. So that's quite nice, actually. Because even if we blow off the arm, when we repair it, we will get this stuff back. So minus 20% damage grants entrenched, plus 20% melee damage, plus 15% melee stability damage. The advanced AMS and the ammo for it, which is a little scary because, you know, that's 200 shots that can explode. But yeah, the advanced AMS will, of course, cover us from multiple directions. And the blue shield dampener, plus 30% resistance against energy attacks when active, but minus 1 accuracy when inactive, plus 9 heat, 10% failure chance upon activation, which is a little bit scary. I assume that'll be workable with pilot skills. Deals critical hit to self on failure instead of, you know, blowing up the entire thing. If it does blow up, though, because this is built into the mech, we'll get it back. I love it. All right, we have 7. We don't have a whole ton of tonnage, although part of that is the MRM-30, or the MRM-20, which I'd love to make an MRM-30. I'll probably pull this MRM off completely, though, and the reason is that it doesn't have improved MRM ammo, which is kind of a big deal. So we have 1 ballistic, 2 energy, 3 missile, and the 4 support, plus 4 jump jets, should we want them, which we kind of don't need them. We've also got a UAV, which is taking up 0.25 tons. That would give me an interesting amount of tonnage back. I'll hold that for now. I don't have a reason to pull it off, but I also don't have a reason to keep it. The advanced fire control system is boring, useless. We'll put in something better because we have better systems. The Gyro XL we're going to keep for the weight savings that it gives us. The Endo, the Pharaoh will also save us some weight. If needs be, we can swap out the Pharaoh for Clan Pharaoh. That'll give us more critical slots, but I think we should be okay on that. So let's go check out our missile weapons because I don't think we have... Yeah, we don't have improved MRM ammo. We're out of it, which is unfortunate. It's currently being used in 2 of our other mechs instead. I don't want to swap you out for something else. Let's go check to see if there's any improved MRM ammo in the store. And I'm trying to remember if it's the Huzuma. Oh, it is a Capellan store. Lovely. Missiles. No, there's really not much at all in terms of missile ammunition or systems here at all. Nothing in the support category, nothing there. A heatsink and armored call plus, and death from above legs, which we don't really need. That's a bit unfortunate. No mechs for sale at all. Oh wait, no, they are. Huh? Why can't I buy them? Oh, because I'm in the mech lab. Duh. Oh, we can get a dragon. Do we want to get a dragon? I think we want to get a dragon. I think we're going to build a dragon. It's going to cost us 1 million sea bills, but we've got 13 million sea bills. Why do we have it if not to spend? But just to double check, because I think this is right. We can build a dragon. Let's do it. Today has been both a good day and a bad day. Bad day because, you know, no champion. But a good day because dragon. Yes. Dragon 1N, but we have a Dragon 7N, which we will then... 1.2 million sea bills. We're starting to whittle away at that, but that's fine. We don't have 4 Thunderbolt parts, so there's no point in trying to grab a Thunderbolt. And I don't think you combine with the Commando SP. If Commando SPs do, that would be really interesting. All right, go back. Bring me back to the mech bay. It's not often in this campaign anymore that we get to see sort of the process of how we do things, so I think that's reasonable. All right, Dragon 7N. Both superior firepower in the form of a Gauss rifle and an AC-5 versus the 1N, which does not have those things. So 22236 versus 22226. Oh, well, we might get some cooler stuff. So let us ready the Dragon 7N. We will take these 2 parts for us, 69,000. Confirm, lock that in. By the way, if you ever get stuck on that screen and you decide you don't want to do something, finish off building it and then hit cancel. And that'll be the way to get out of it. Debuting during the Civil War era, the 7N boasts superior firepower in the form of a Gauss rifle in the right arm and an AC-5 in the left arm, with a traditional medium laser in the left torso and an MRM-10 launcher placed in place of the LRM launcher. So we have our first heavy, and it was a dragon. Which, yeah, that's interesting. Alright, so our bays are getting a little bit fuller than I anticipated, but we have a dragon. It has heavy ferro! We lost the MRM. And we also lost the Gauss rifle, but you know what? We kept the heavy ferro, which will be great for weight savings. That's not terrible at all. Let's go rip everything off of you. What do you got? You saved the case 2 and an XL engine. Throw that thing out. No thank you. Also throw that thing out. We saved the structure, basically, is the only thing that was left in the mech aside from an XL engine, which we don't use XL engines in something this large. Seriously, you'd have to be suicidal. Max out the armor, please. Equipment. I will then take engines. Give me a light engine, because light engines are way, way safer. And then give me a 275 fusion core. Okay. That's the movement we lost, right? You were 275? You know, you were 300. Jeez. If I put a 300 radiant fusion core, I've got only 3 less tons. Okay. That will keep this thing traveling blisteringly quickly, actually. Although, you know, using it like this too much might cause some problems. Give me an... Ooh, I'm out of XL gyros. I've only got the ultralight gyro left, which I don't want to put on a mech this important. So, give me a gyro defense... and a double heatsink kit. Because that'll mostly finish up the core. Although I could get up to a E-cooling 2 in this mech. So if we need it, we've got it. So that's his core. Let's go build his head. Actually, in order to build his head, we need to build his arms. Although, single ballistic, I believe... Or did I use them all? I think I used all my weapon mounts. I did. I used all my weapon mounts on PPCs and the like. It probably wasn't the best idea now that we have this. I probably want to rip one of them off. It'll weigh a ton though. So there it is, something to keep in mind. So the idea I would normally bring would be, you know, give us a big ballistic in the side of the mech. How much ammo is in a double UAC 20? 12 shots. Let's shoot 6 times. That is not good. So my thought would be to put in a ultra autocannon. An ultra autocannon 20 for just ridiculous amounts of damage we could deal. Because we've got them. We've got several of them, actually. Yeah, we've got 2 of them. So not several, just a couple. Or we could put in a light Gauss rifle. The silver bullet Gauss has been put on a different mech, so I don't have that available. So, but the silver bullet Gauss would be a really nice pickup. Could go an ultra autocannon 20 route. This would be a huge amount of damage. The problem is that ammunition. We're going to need 4 tons of ammo to keep this thing running if we want to run it as an ultra autocannon, and we do. So the way we would have to work with that is we would need that fire control autocannon for the +2, -1 recoil, so that gets us down to a single pip of recoil, and then we have an innate -1 recoil on most of our gunners, which brings that to 0. So that'll work. I can work with that. We don't want the ballistics because the ballistic doesn't have the recoil. The autocannon, this should work with this because it is technically an autocannon. Right? It's an ultra shredder. So to support that, we need a cockpit. And I also may need more slots. Cockpits can be comm suites or armored cowls. I would like to go the arc sheathed beacon. We also have a whole bunch of basic crap that we don't need. IFF jammer might not be a terrible thing. Sheathed beacon is just so good because it gives you protection. And we combine a sheathed beacon with... kind of want to go comm suite. But I'm not positive on that. No, back into targeting computers. Comm suite or an armored cowl? Because the armored cowl is quite nice. Do you weigh extra? So 15 armor and structure to the head, +1 initiative, +1 injury resist. I'm thinking that. We don't get as much resolve gain, but that's fine. We need to reduce 1 pip here. Or are we going to need to reduce 2? No, we're going to need to reduce 2, so we'll rip it out from the legs. 1 here, and 1 here. 7 tons. for that tonnage is already spoken for. So I can't use normal autocannon ammo because reasons. I have to instead use UAC ammo. Unfortunately, I've only got one double UAC, so that's actually going to have a fairly significant effect. So 22 shots. It gives him 11 shots. That should actually be okay. He then has 2 energy and 1 ballistic. Or 2 energy, he's got 1 more ballistic. And 2 missile slots. We're really kind of leaning into this energy. It might be a good idea to go jump jets, actually. Or case. Case is also an interesting idea. Case will give me 2 tons remaining. That'd be 2 medium lasers, 2 ER medium lasers. That's always a pretty solid foundation on things. So give me the case. And I do still have potential in this mech. Because if I get an XL gyro in this thing, I can get less weight. And I can kind of sort of format what that would be like. We would have 5 tons remaining, which is pretty significant. But the defensive gyro is also quite nice. We're not going to go melee gyro for obvious reasons. It's not a melee mech. I do want to get, because he does have a lower arm, I do want to get a weapon mount. That'll help even more. That'll get a +3 accuracy, +5 accuracy when you take into account both of these. That should allow him to be blazing away with that autocannon pretty heavily. Could go supercharger. That would allow him to get into positions quite quickly. But the supercharger has a chance of exploding. Although it is relatively light. Could go TSM. I don't think so. So weapons, energies. I don't think I have any more clan ERs. Oh, I do. I didn't use them yet. Lovely. So rip that thing. Oh, no. So we have 2 tons remaining. Interesting. 17 days and 1 million CBLs to build it. Do we want to build in this direction? So already we're good on heat, right? Yeah. So I've got 5 tons, 4-ish tons. Because I'm also counting the weapon mount. I could go with an MRM. I have the tonnage to make that work. I don't have the MRM, unfortunately. Yeah, that's a reminder. Okay. So the MRM's not going to be a thing. It would be really cool if it was, but I have the weight for it. Oh, I can't believe there's no MRMs here. Actually, wait, no, I should have an MRM-10, don't I? I don't have the improved ammo for it, though. And that was the thing keeping me away from it. Not the fact that I didn't have an MRM-10, because I've got an MRM-10. It does make him heavily reliant. Ooh, maybe I don't. Did I seriously sell it or something? Huh, I thought I had more of them. Apparently not. Other option could be an SRM-6, but that makes him reliant on ammunition. 2 ER clan mediums are going to be dealing 62 damage. The SRM-6 is not going to be able to match that. That does still give me 2 tons to work with. So what do we do with 2 tons? Support equipment. 2 tons of support equipment. Actually, a ton and a bit would be a tag. Oh yeah, the case. Duh. So a tag and a case. So we'll roll that there. And then give me a case Mark II in order to keep the mech mostly intact. Where are you? There you are. Alright, so the plan is, this will be what we'll currently build. But our plan will be to eventually remove the tag to put on a weapon mount to basically make this ultra autocannon able to blaze away at maximum firepower. So this weapon has a recoil of 2. One of this recoil is already mitigated by the fire control system, and I believe the pilots have a -1 recoil at gunnery rank 4 or 5 or something like that. So that basically gives them a recoil of 0. The weapon has a jam chance of a recoil times 5, mitigated by gunnery and recoil reduction. The weapon has a flat 40% jam. Ooh, that's unfortunate. I'm not sure which one's accurate. So if I fire twice, I should be able to fire without any real trouble? Huh. I think so. We'll find out. And if not, you know, the gun will explode. And that will be unfortunate. Worst comes to worst, we rip it out. And we put in something different and better. Because right now we have 20 tons invested in this gun. So 20 tons of this mech. And this is a fairly solid mech, I would say. So if I weren't to do that, I have other ballistic options. I mean, they're not great, to be honest with you, but they exist. We could rip out a Silver Bullet Gauss and put it on this thing. That Silver Bullet Gauss is 2 tons lighter and only needs 2 tons ammo. So we'd be looking at a savings of 4 tons. What you could do with that, 4, 5, 6 tons. I mean, you could throw in SRM-6s or something. Or you could go with a PPC, which, you know, that would be a pretty significant amount of firepower right there. Not going to go with an XL engine. XL engines are suicidal. Could go with a rack, especially with... where are my racks? There we are. So we've got a rack 5. That's 14 tons. It saves us 2 tons. If I have the ammunition for it, I could make it work. So a weapon has a recoil of 3. Has a jam chance of recoil times 5. And if we were firing 6 shots and we've got all the recoil reduction in the world that we can possibly mount on it, we could be blazing away for, actually for 135 times, 270 damage. Because each shot is 45. If we fire 6 times, then we're looking at 270 damage just in that gun alone. I mean, a ton of heat, too, to go with it. But we've got some serious good heat. Yeah, we're heat sinking 60 for 56 on this gun. So, the other thought is a rack. Turn it into a big rotary cannon. But right now we'll be putting in Ultra Autocannon 20, mostly because I want to try it out. Also, it's a fairly fast mech. I mean, we put a 300 radiant fusion core in this thing. This one will zip along at 10 hex for his sprint. So we're at tabletop 5.8, which is pretty significant, just how fast this thing will actually move. He'll be able to keep up with our mediums without too much trouble. And also, at the end of the day, if we really need to, we can buff the firepower on this thing through the roof. So, 18 days. Yeah, we'll confirm that. And lock that down. And if we can find another Ultra Autocannon double, that would be perfect. So we can throw in there. Alright, Centurion. Now let's build him. Now that we've pulled most of our stuff to throw into him, we've got to figure out a thing to do with this guy. So, repair all. Max the armor. Pull off the compact heatsinks because compact heatsink kit is terrible. That will probably go away. That is going to go away, and that's going to go away, and that's going to go away. So this is our core. We have 18 tons. We don't have a light fusion engine anymore. So we're going to have to build this the old-fashioned way, which actually is a pretty big deal. I could go an XL engine, but that kind of defeats the purpose of the entire mech to be sturdy and strong. I really can't afford not to. I mean, it's too dangerous to take an XL engine. I really, really wish that they were selling light engines right now because I really need one at the moment. So we'll definitely be on the lookout for a light engine. I may actually pull off a light engine from a different mech just to throw into this thing. That might be the best idea. So what mech are we not going to use? Because this mech can fill in for somebody. He's a 1, 2, 3. So we could swap out... You've got 5 energy... Honestly, we could swap out the Wolverine and put it mostly into the Centurion. It'd be better defended. Probably a little bit slower. The Bushwhacker, we could do the same thing too. He's got a 1, 2, 1. And that one is a countermeasure system. He's actually got a lot of equipment on here. Oh, he's got a silver bullet cast. So there is that. You got the weapon mount for it too, right? Yeah, you do. You've got one of my important weapon mounts. We'll try and build it without it. We'll see what we can actually construct. It is going to be a little bit of a hard thing to do, though, because not being able to get a lighter engine in there is going to be a rough thing. I'll keep that, throw composite out, throw compact heatsink kit out, because that's insane. Alright, so first thing is, first needs to have an engine. I'd like to give him a 270. 270 will give him no internal heatsinks, but 270s are really good engines for lights. What's your current weight on this one? So the weight is 17.5 and the 275 would be 18.5. So yeah, we'd gain a ton by doing that. And we wouldn't get any speed out of it, I don't think. So that gives us no tonnage left. And I don't have an engine to do anything with it. So of course we're going to throw on... Ooh, I don't have heavy for... I did have heavy. Didn't I? Oh no, that was the other one. Well, first we're going to throw on Endosteel. And we will throw on Ferro. Gives us 4 tons to work with. Now, clearly the primary weapon system right now is the MRM. If I rip that out, it gives me almost 13 tons. I can probably trim some armor to get there. Is there any other weight-saving things I can do? Not really. We've already kind of used everything that we've got at the moment. So 12 tons, that kind of speaks to an energy boat. When you don't have a whole heck a lot of tonnage, the problem is we've only got 2 energy hard points. Could go SRMs. SRMs and energy? Can I get a PPC in here? Oh, I've already got SRMs pretty heavily done. How much were you? Give me 5 tons. It's a large laser. And that makes you significantly worse than everybody else that I've got. So, support systems. Hi, what do you got? Chainsaws. So I could throw on a chainsaw onto this arm. Make him sort of a melee mech, but with a 270 rated fusion core. I may have to step that fusion core down. Yeah, if I don't have the light engine, the fusion core's got to come down. He is supposed to be sort of more of a tank than a in-your-face, so we'll go down to a 250 rated fusion core. That'll save us some tonnage. And what else can we do with you? You got the double heatsink kit in you already. We've got 6 tons to work with. The PPC would just turn him into another one. Another Wolverine. Which I'm not necessarily opposed to. He's a better fit for it. He really is. And the reason is because the active combat shield and the blue shield dampener. He's going to be able to just tank damage. So if I can get the light engine in this thing, I'd probably get him basically fully kitted up to that level. I prefer not to, though. But it is clearly a superior mech. I'm a huge fan of putting PPCs on things. They're a lot of fun. Plasma cannon? You are 6 tons. That's just too heavy to run. Also, you only do 45 damage. PPC is 7 tons. Snub is 6, but I don't have it. Heavy PPC is 10 tons. With... You're gonna get my clan autocannon. Or no, because you don't have a weapon mount. That's the thing that's sort of holding this entire build back. You can get an LBX. We haven't used an LB10 in a long time, but now would be an appropriate time to use it. Because it's 3 tons, it's going to be even less once we actually sort of load him up. You know what, I don't actually think I have enough to build this yet. It's going to take him 15 days just to get it here. And we do, of course, like to make our weights even. So I'll trim a little bit of weight so we can get ourselves down to... Gonna be enough? 1. Alright, so that'll get us to 15 tons of equipment. We'll be throwing in a light engine, but this is the starter we're gonna build from here. Maybe be able to get up to a 270? I really would like to get to a 270. 270s are fast. Well, faster. They give me a lot of flexibility. So 13 tons. With limited hard points, that becomes the problem. We'll build to this, and once we finish building this, we should be able to have a better idea of whether or not we want to rip things off other mechs, or if we have just equipment laying around. But today's episode will end with us having a brand new dragon, which is in the process of being built. A brand new Centurion, which is a 55-tonner, in the process of being built. Our Griffin is being built, our other Wolverine is being built, and we will have the Lance ready to go in 2 days. You know what? We're going to run the Lance 2 days on. May as well. 1 and 2 and stop. And that will give us, yeah, the Wolverine will be ready in 2 days, and we've started working on other things. This Wolverine I don't really care about, if I'm honest. But yeah. Quick check of the mech bay. We've got our brand new gauntlet. He is equipped with twin snub-nose PPCs and twin ear smalls. And a fairly high rated engine, but look at what came in this thing. Automatic light engine, automatic 275 rated fusion core, a TTS energy. So we got the energy plus the fire control system energy. This thing is gonna rip things apart. And of course a PPC capacitor to just amp things up. I'm looking forward to putting this thing into testing. Oh, but that's gonna have to wait for another time. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's episode. I've been Tirak. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe before I see a notification every time I post one of these videos. Press the little bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.